Hello, welcome to the Cakes by Ale channel. Today I have for you this beautiful cake, and I'm going to take you through the step-by-step process of making this gorgeous cake. So firstly, we started with a sketch. I mean, just like every other project that we do, we started with a sketch. The clients discussed what they wanted with us, and then we sketched out for them. So here are the cakes already filled with buttercream and crumb coated and then covered in fondant. If you like to learn how to cover a cake with fondant, we have a video down below. I'll post the link on how to layer and cover a cake in fondant. We also cover the cake boards in order to give a professional overall appearance of the cake. Okay, so using royal icing, we have this beautiful stencil design on the bottom tier of the two-tier ones, and then you want to make sure you secure your stencil with a pin. And then to the gold dust we add the edible spirit, also known as the rejuvenator. So what this does is it brings out the brightness of the gold, and it pretty much turns the powder into liquid for easy application. Okay, so I'm going to paint directly on the stencil before removing it from the cake in order to make my work faster. An alternative to this is to stencil and paint the patterns of the stencil individually. This is a very time-consuming method, so I would rather stick to my method. To the two-tier cakes, we need to dowel rod them for structure purpose. So I'm marking out the size of the top tier going on this cake, and then of course my dowel rods. Okay, so I'm going to use about 5 dowel rods on this one. The size of cake is 10 inches. There's a connecting dowel rod at the middle which connects the top tier to the bottom tier. I'll also be using mashed up fondant as some form of adhesive to connect the top tier to the bottom tier, so that when we transport the cake it doesn't move in the car. Okay, next we take care of the edges of the board by applying glue to the edges and then a ribbon over it in order to make it nice and clean, right? And then to the sugar flowers, we're going to assemble the sugar flowers. We've pre-made the petals 3 days earlier to give them enough time. This is a very cool trick to make the flower more realistic. So through a mesh sieve, you want to apply vegetable shortening in order to prevent the fondant from sticking, and then you pass the brown fondant through the sieve to give this effect. You gently scrape this off using a craft knife. Okay, you lift it up carefully and then you place this at the middle of the flower. So we did this for all the flowers that we have and that we're going to attach to the cake. You can let it sit for about 3 to 4 hours in order for this to become nice and dry. After covering, stacking and stenciling all the cake, it's then time to add more details. The 4-tier cake at the middle has a Art Deco design on it, which I'm just going to cut with my craft knife and ruler. It's pretty much a freehand design, of course bearing in mind the pattern I'm going for, which is pretty much Art Deco. This theme also reflects on the stencil pattern of the 2-tier cake we did earlier. We have all the cakes decorated and well detailed. It's time to assemble the cakes. So pretty much we do the cake assembly at the studio first before taking it to the venue, just so we know how it all comes together and what we are dealing with. If there's anything to be fixed, this is the point where we fix it. It looks all nice and perfect at the studio. We then bring them down, box them individually, and transport them to the venue. Here's just a picture of what the cake looks like after setting it up at the venue. They got to the venue safely, and of course we did our setup. Thank you so much for watching. If you have stayed for this long, kindly give this video a thumbs up and then please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video. Bye.